What is up, guys and girls? It is your boy, the Hunter Fisher. Welcome back to the Epi Banger video. In today's video, guys and girls, we're gonna be talking about what is easily the most talked about reel in BFS fishing right now. Let's get right into it. All right, guys, I hope you guys are ready to see a quick video about the new 2023 Calcutta Conquest BFS. This reel is very fantastic feeling so far. I have not tested this reel so far, and I'm actually really looking forward to it, but I'm also going to be comparing all the things about the 2017 contrary to the 2023, and is it really worth the upgrade to you? But to be honest with you, right now this reel is very expensive, so you'll be paying a little over 400 bucks, but this reel's definition of buy once, cry once, and I'm going to reiterate that through the video. So if you guys want to pick this up, the best place that I've found so far is Digitaka. That's digitaka.com. I'm going to have a link down below to the product page for you to get whatever iteration you want of this reel, but if you use code H2G, it'll save you a little bit of yen. I used it on my order. It saved me some money. Also, make sure you're signing up for the rewards through Digitaka. It also helps you out a ton. Besides that, this reel is very nice. It's going to be the flagship reel for Shimano's BFS line, but let's get into focusing on breaking down what's so good about this reel and why is it improved upon the old model. So one thing that really sets this reel apart from the old model so far, by the way, I have a right-hand model of the old model. It's the BFS HG. This one is the BFS XG left-hand model. Just holding them in my hand, the profiles are very different. As you guys can see, this is the new one, and it's extremely a lot smaller than the old model. And that's really exciting because whenever you're palming a reel like this, especially with what this reel was designed for, this reel was kind of designed with a trout fisherman in mind. That's what the old model was for too. There's been a trend of converting old round reels like the Abu Garcia Ambassadors 1500Cs into being a BFS machine. With a lighter spool, better bearings, they can really cast crazy amounts of weights very far and very well. But with those reels and those looks comes the problem of palming. So just to give you an idea, I'm going to show you guys how the new Calcutta Conquest BFS palms on a trout specific rod. This is the Dancun glass fin. It's just a budget friendly trout rod. But by the way, guys, that's a drag clicker. Drag clicker sounds awesome, but this rod feels amazing with this reel in hand. I mean, just look how it's palming in my hand right now. It's extremely small comparatively to the 2017 model. So as far as with that, it's important whenever you're trout fishing is because you're making flip castings, you're making roll casts and stuff like that. I mean, if you do anything fly fishing, you know that there's a lot of cover with trout fishing, and that's what this reel is really kind of catering towards, while still focusing and making sure that everyone else in their different niches got what they wanted out of this reel. And overall, this reel is a lot smaller in frame contrary to the 2017. It's also a little bit lighter, but it's not really that noticeable in my opinion. So I would say that if you're someone who's looking for a lot lighter, you're not getting that with this reel, but you're getting a little bit lighter. I will say this palms a lot better, especially for a round reel. It feels like it's tiny and it feels awesome. I absolutely love the way that the reel feels already. I haven't fished with it, like I said, but supposedly this reel is just tiny. And not supposedly, it's right, it's tiny in my hand, and I can't wait to fish with it and see how it performs. The frame also kind of feels a little bit different than the model I had before. The model I had before seems to be very heavy on the side of the gears, which is okay, but also kind of a little bit weird. It balances differently, so you might see a difference in that with your setups, you might not, but personally speaking, I do feel like there is a little bit of a balance difference. Now moving on to another point that's different with the new model and different from the old model is the old model had one gear ratio, and that's the HG. I believe that's like low 7s or high 6s. I can't exactly remember, but I'm sure somebody will correct me. But the old model only had one gear ratio, and this new model has HG and XG. I got the XG just because I wanted a little bit faster of a reel, mainly for just picking up line faster, especially with the flow and current. It's just a little bit better. It also allows me to kind of finesse a little bit better, so that if I take my time, I can always just slow down with a faster gear ratio. I can't always speed up. I can only reel as fast as my hands will let me, but if the reel itself is already engineered to be a faster reel, it's not that bad of a deal. But also another thing is with a lower gear ratio, you kind of get more torque. I don't know if that's true. I think that's all dependent on the gearing, which we'll get into that later. But also another major thing that I got to talk about is with the ratio change comes a whole new set of gears. So with the old, this is my third point by the way, the old model, you had brass gears with micro module technical, I believe it's technically micro module. I don't know the exact name that they call it, but the teeth are smaller on the brass gear than the new Duralumin gear. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, here's a picture from a Shimano pro staffer over in Japan. If you notice, the new ones are the ones that are silver and Duralumin. The old ones are brass, and those are two different reels. So a new one is Duralumin, old one is brass. Now, a lot of people think that old model is brass and that's better, it's stronger. But in fact, from what I've researched and what I've looked into, brass is cheaper to make. It's cheaper to cut, it's cheaper to put in a reel. So they didn't jip us on this new reel. They really wanted to set this reel apart to make sure that we got what we wanted as trout fishermen and as any type of fisherman you are, that you make sure you got what you wanted with this new reel. With that comes the micro module Duralumin. So with that, it kind of helps with the line pickup. The gear is also a lot bigger than the old one, so we also have a lot more surface area, which might mean it's a stronger gear overall than the brass gear, even though it's composition that might make a big difference in this case. I'm not really too sure, but this is just guessing. Really, time will tell. But I also will point out with this new model, we got something called X-Ship. X-Ship is the clutch gear that actually is made out of a higher end composition as well. I believe it's made out of the same stuff, Duralumin. So you're with X-Ship and with your main gear working together, you have a stronger performance overall, you have tighter tolerances, and I also believe you get a smoother overall experience. Not to mention silent drive, which puts bearings, blah, 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 blah. You guys aren't here for that. You guys are here to hear if this is a great reel or not. My point is the overall tolerances with the new gears and everything are also a lot better from what I've seen so far. Just having these two reels in hand, I personally do think that this new reel is a vast upgrade to the old reel, especially in terms of tolerances. My reel is used like 3 years, I believe. It Must Be Debate on Instagram had my reel for about 2 to 3 years before I bought it from him. That's a 2017 model. So yeah, the tolerances might feel a little off. He might have done something. I have no idea. It still feels great. But I do think that the 23 does feel like they kind of went a little hardcore on making sure it was fine-tuned. So I do think that could also impact casting ability, which is my next point. With this new model, you get the updated Finesseum braking system, which is Shimano's BFS braking system, and you also get the new Mgl Spool. I believe it's the third iteration of the Mgl Spool. But with the Aldebaran 2022, we saw and heard from many a video that the Aldebaran 2022 was the best casting BFS reel out on the market right now, and at least in terms of 1 gram and 2 gram area. Especially with aftermarket parts, it just got even better. And everyone was saying it's the best BFS reel in the market. Personally, I didn't want the Aldebaran 22. The reason why is because it's magnesium frame. If you scratch that and it comes in contact with salt, which I am fishing 90% of the time now, your reel's screwed. At least within prolonged use of salt water. So I will say that I didn't want to go with a 22. But with the Calcutta Conquest BFS 23, I really found exactly what I was looking for. We've got machine cut aluminum. This is a small profile. I'm not gonna have to worry about making sure I have zero salt exposure to this, but I am going to be rinsing this off every time I go fish. But my point is, with the updated FTB and Mgl Spool in this reel, we do see possibly even better casting performance out of this reel than the Aldebaran 22. That's just a rumor right now. I have no idea. Like I've said before, I have not used this reel. I literally just got it today of the filming of this video. You are expecting a reel that's better than the 22. I don't know that for sure, but everyone's saying that this reel is casting better than the Aldebaran 22. That makes me excited to test it out, and I look forward to testing it out. But I am be casting extremely lightweight lures on this, so that's where the Finesseum braking system, the Mgl Spool, really come into play. FTB on its own is a great braking system. It took me some getting used to, I won't lie, but I will say with the Mgl Spool, that's where you start to see better lightweight performance. That's where you start to see a lot of that. So with the lightweight performance, we're going to be seeing a lot lower weight ranges being able to be casted. So maybe 1 gram, maybe even 1.5 grams. I've heard people are casting trout magnets 35 feet on this thing so far. That's fantastic. I haven't tried it out yet, but I look forward to it. But the Mgl Spool is what really makes the difference on this new model. So if you're looking to cast below 2 grams, do not get the old model. I'm telling you, if you're looking at getting the old model versus the new model, or if you're upgrading, blah, blah, blah. The new model casts a lot better under 2 grams than the new model will I don't know that for sure, obviously, but from what I'm seeing, it does make sense. But this also kind of wraps it up for me, getting to my point of this reel contains all of the new technology that Shimano's really wanted to push in all their reels. Doesn't matter what it is, your new Calcutta Conquest MDs, you have different reels from the the Corrado line, the SLX line, all those new features that are going nuts, that are even available in Antares. They are available in this type of reel right here. It's not DC, but yes, it can cast very light lures, and it's much smaller now in the new model. Yes, it's fancy and it has like a smooth reeling and a micro module gearing, blah, 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 blah. Yes, all that stuff is nice, but more importantly, does this reel do everything better than you expected it to? That's what I'm probably going to assume this reel does. So this reel is designed really for anyone who is wanting to use ultralight lures and have fun with it. That's the main part about this reel. But what also is great is that this reel could last you years. I mean, like literally you could pass this reel down to your grandkids if you wanted to, but it's so smooth that you could cut through butter like with a hot chainsaw on a volcano. My point is, this reel is a workhorse, and it's an ultralight workhorse that will last you for many years to come. So if you've been kind of speculative of spending this much on a BFS reel, trust me, everyone feels like you do, but you are also probably going to enjoy this reel. I'm going to even be using this reel even in salt water, so I'm really confident in how long I can keep this reel performing up to par, and especially casting super lightweight stuff. So I don't know for sure exactly what it can do, as I'm just speculative talking right now, but I am looking forward to this reel right now. I mean, just to give you guys a rundown of how this reel feels, we've got the size right here. That's how it feels. And here's a drag clicker. Drag clicker feels great. Overall, this reel feels fantastic. I am super excited to see what I can do with this reel, but I'm going to generalize this, guys. Should you get this reel right now? I don't know. It's really up to you, first of all. You have to answer the first 3 questions. Can you afford it? Do you need it? And does the wife say yes? That's the first 3 questions you got to answer. So, I mean, those are important. I can't make those decisions for you. But if you have the money, if you have the space, if you want to make that decision, should you get this reel versus the 2017 or really a lot of other reels in the market right now? Just from what I've seen so far, yeah. I think this is going to be an awesome reel. I think this is going to be a fantastic reel, and I have no reason why it shouldn't be in your lineup. I mean, just you have all the latest and greatest with Shimano. Those are out now, so I see no reason why you shouldn't get this reel. It's up to you at the end of the day to make that decision, but keep in mind, performance videos will be coming soon, so you can make the decision based off some more support performance videos. How it really performs on the water is how you really should make your decision. So before I speak too much on all these latest and greatest features that I have listed out on my iPad over here, I'm going just to tell you, make a decision for yourself so far. If from this video you decided you want the reel, go check it out on Digitaka. Code H2G is it's active last time I checked. If it's been a while and you're now checking out this video, I'll have an updated discount code in the description. So go check that out, guys, if you're looking to get this reel off Digitaka. But I believe I've talked enough about this reel, and the next video you see this weekend is going to be me fishing with this reel. So if you guys are looking forward to that, make sure you guys go subscribe to my channel down below. Make sure you like the video. And if you haven't got any questions for me about the reel and about the specs, I have some links I can send you guys down below. Just drop me your questions and I can help out the best I can. Thank you guys for watching, and if you have any questions about future content, budget combos, all that stuff is on the way. If you're looking for cheaper reels and stuff to try, be on the lookout. The channel's got some great videos on the way right now. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, whatever you need to do. But most importantly, guys, you need to remember this one thing, and it's that fish fear me.